Hi, and welcome to our presentation of Peoplegeist, the text AI that can understand shift logs and MES-log comments. In this demonstration, we will show you how you can eliminate discussions about log categorization and how you can show operators how they benefit from proper maintenance documentation. So what's the scenario? You operate machines, you have a line, and on the line something breaks. The machine goes down, and usually the operator goes to the machine and fixes it. By doing so, they will also document their work. And for example, they will add a quick comment about what happened, how they solved it, and perhaps also add a suggestion. These kind of texts, be it directly entered via MES or into a tablet, or some other kind of shift log documentation. These kind of comments you can give to our AI, and the AI will understand what kind of problems have been mentioned in the text, what kind of actions and solutions have been taken, and also positive things. Positive things being, for example, here, cycle time has improved by 2 seconds after changing something. All this is saved, and you can access this knowledge in 2 ways. One is you can get charts that show you what are the most frequent issues and what are the most frequent actions taken. I can also query this knowledge with just language sentences, naturally phrased sentences, and it will find incidents from the past that are similar to the one, even though it has not been phrased exactly the same way. But let's jump into the app. I have prepared some demonstration data to show these functionalities. So I'm gonna select now by machine. I've selected now label and the equivalent machine in the German-speaking language, the Etikette machine. I'm gonna load this now. And what the first thing you see here is a list of all the problems mentioned in the text. You see here groups of issues. The first group is Etikette kein Gewicht, which is German, that says that the label doesn't have any weight on it. And if you hover over it, you will see all the different way of phrasing and expressions that the AI found in the logs that are part of this group. You can also play around a little bit with the level of detail. For example, you can make the groups bigger, and you see now packages without labels becomes the #1 group. If you hover over it, you see now that this group does not strictly include the package without label issue, but also related things and similar terms, labels that don't stick to packages, labels that have glue. So you see probably the same end results. But with this, you can increase the group and get similar issues, related issues into this group. This is one thing you can do. You can click on a group, and you will see the original comments, so you get the full context. But more importantly, you can do a drill down. And all the drill down, you will see now actions that have been taken for this kind of issue. So for the group of issues, packages without label, you see now the cylinder has been cleaned, magazine has been cleaned, the glue nozzle has been cleaned, and the ball bearing has been greased. This is the same and something in Korean. I'm going to switch now to English just to show that you see what's happening here. So this feature is especially useful if you have analysis that spans multiple locations and you've staff in different places. So you see now magazines, these groups have now all been translated to English. You can take this group and discuss with the team now, hey, these are all incidents of unplanned cleanings. Shouldn't we add this as a weekly cleaning, and we can remove, we can eliminate or reduce unplanned cleanings during the week. This automatic analysis of the problems and actions taken and the summarization with a breakdown helps you to eliminate the need for manual categorization. Categorization is the traditional way of going through maintenance logs, and it's often a contentious topic in companies. The analyst wants to have it super detailed, every sensor, every screw has its own code, but for the operator, they want to have it as simple as possible and quick as possible. They just want to fix the machine and continue working. And applying our text AI, the steps of categorization goes away. And you also don't have to limit yourself to, let's say, the top 5 or top 10 issues on a specific drop down. You can just leave out that step altogether. On this UI, you can slice and dice the data however you want. You can play around with the problems, with the actions, with the date, machines, and line. And it's great for analysts and managers. For the shop floor workers, we have prepared a dashboard where you can configure filters for data, and you can show this on the screens, on the big TVs, on the shop floors. For example, we go to the labeler again. We stick with the example of the labeling machine. And the team sees now here, month to month, the top 3 issues of the months. During the team huddles, they can take a look at that and discuss it and discuss, hey, how can we change our maintenance actions, or how can we change something in our operations to eliminate this class of issue? And next month, they can see and check again, is the problem gone or is it still number 1? You can also make then comparisons over time. You can select now here. This is now this month, and let's check a few months later and compare. Is it still the same issue or not? We had examples where we were able to show how, for instance, oil leak on a machine has been number 20 a few years ago and slowly increasing. 2 years ago, it was number 10, and last year it was number 1 issue, showing that something clearly has changed. Perhaps training, machine maintenance, something has changed, and an issue has become number 1. So we come now also to the second point of the demonstration, demonstrating to the operators the value of documentation. And I believe now this is the actual main value of the tool, or the real value of the tool is the operators see now what happens with their comments, and also it benefits them. Before, documentation was done because the boss said it, but it wasn't properly done very often. That's what we hear in many companies, because it was just cumbersome. And the operators weren't motivated and they didn't see the reason why I should do it. Nothing happened with it anyway. Now this game changes. The documentation and the documentation is shown back to the operators on these charts, and they see what happened with it, and it benefits them directly. It's not for some managers, it's not for some analysts, it's for them. It's their tool. So documentation and writing down what happens is not for a manager, it's for them directly. And this changes the dynamic and changes the culture. It is now up to them, and they are empowered to improve their own working environment. Very often we hear that the data they have is not very good and they can't run the analysis like that. That's completely fine. You can give us the data you have, even though it's not complete and the text comments aren't very good. We will run it through the machine, to the engine, to the text AI engine, and we'll generate a report. And you can take that report and take it to a shop floor. With that first action, even though the report isn't perfect, the shop floor workers will start seeing the value of documenting. You engage them in the discussion how to improve the workplace, and you trigger the first step in this culture change. Next month, the documentation gets better, the reports get better, and so on. So every month, it keeps on getting better. And I believe the true value of this tool is not the analysis per se, but empowering now shop floor workers to gain insights from their own work, putting their own knowledge into a system and sharing it with the whole team. Thank you so much for your time. You can, if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. And on our website, you'll see more documentation and ways to contact me. There's also a free online demonstration. You can enter your own sentences and test it and play around with it. It doesn't have all the features and it's not as powerful, but you can play with it and you see what direction it's going. If you have more text you want to test, you can always send this to us and we can give you a sample analysis so that you can see what the AI can do with your data. Have a great day.